Hi Ted, I thought I'd just put this in Explain Everything so that I can explain everything as I go along. I've spoken to my team, which is only me and one person, but it's Lizzie, who used to be the level 3 leader, so she's experienced in this level. And I also consulted Ida, who is the level leader with me. Well, we take it in turns to be level leader for 010. And so that's it, it's basically feedback from 3 people. So if we start looking at the first word, all these words are great. I'm interested to find out how the exam or the test that you did went with them, because I was quite surprised at how many words they knew. My only concern on this list is the same concern I have about everything, which is not a major concern, and that is... where are we here? This one. So we've got birth and birthday. Obviously the birthday they're going to know, no problem. But birth, if we look at the word separately, I think there's no chance of them knowing it or understanding it. So it depends on whether you want them to learn word families or just a specific word. I think you want them to learn word families, which I agree is much better. Because they learn several words at the same time, but depends if we're going to test them, whether we just teach them the range of words from the word family and then test them on one specific one, or whether we're going to test them on all of the words from that family. So on this list here, it's the same apart from the word above, which I don't like, this one. But generally speaking, the words are great. It's just this thing again with anger. The word anger alone, they'll have no idea what it means, but the word angry, they can understand. So again, I think if we're pointing out that this word comes from this word, then it's fine. But if you're going to test them on anger, if assessment use this as the curriculum, they can then therefore test them. So that's my only issue. To assist, they wouldn't have a clue. Athlete is a bit complex, I think, at this level. Compose, if they compose music, can we expect them to know how to use that? Again, that's going to be a very difficult one. Same with defence and develop. Develop, I don't know where develop comes from. I don't know if it's one of their words in the book, develop. I can't imagine how they would use that one. Defence, get flagged up with Lizzie and with Ida as well. Defence, I think they can understand the concept, but being able to understand the concept of the word and be able to use it or put it into a sentence, I don't think there's much chance of that happening. So next part of this was 010. Most of these are the same issue. It's about the words in themselves as verbs are quite complicated. So here we've got educate, excite, express. So if these words again, instruct, interpret, I don't think they'll be able to do this. I think they understand what an instructor is as a noun. It's much, much easier. A few words that I'm unsure of because I think maybe they're a bit difficult. So economy, I don't think they're going to be able to know that one. Gallery is one of the words from the course book, but I don't think we should need them to be able to put it into a sentence or to recall that as a word. And that's it, I think. Oh, lane. Lane's a bit random one. Where does lane come from? Do you have lanes in America, or is it just an English word? I don't know. So this is the last list, the final list of 010, and I've had a look through this, and there's nothing kind of abstract or odd about these. They're all pretty straightforward. Simple words or simple nouns, so that's all good. Okay, so 020, I don't know really. I haven't taught 020 before. I taught level 4. it's difficult for me to get my head around it, but just looking at this, I think abaya, there's something that we can do in level 010. We can add that. And I also thought anybody, something that we use quite a lot. I think they would be able to get that one okay. I think that was it. That's all I looked at. I started circling stuff in blue, but it's basically the same kind of concept. Like able, I think it's quite difficult, but ability, they can understand. So again, it depends on how you're splitting up the different types of words and what you want to do with that. Okay, so looking at this list, I'm just really looking at words that I think can go into 010, rather than looking at the words in 020 and saying they're too difficult, because I really don't know anymore. So this one here, Islam. I noticed that we have before imam. I think they're more likely to know Islam than they are imam, unless it's the same word, I suppose. But anyway, the students in 010, they all knew what Islam meant, because when we were comparing two countries, they talked about Islam without me asking them. So I know they know that. Kilogram, I think maybe in the pre-word list, because I think it's same in Arabic, and they probably learn it at school, if not. Library, they seem to know that anyway. I notice here we've got miss, but I think we had ms, ms in the 010, so it's probably better if we put them together. And on that theme, I think mouth as well. If we're doing body parts, I think there's hand and different leg and things like that. It's probably easier for us to teach them as a set, rather than some body parts in one level and some body parts another level, because it's, we can do work on bodies and things. It makes it easier than just trying to learn a couple of random out of context words. So that's that one. So in this list, I wasn't sure about Rob, but that's not important. Where am I? Stomach. Yeah, same thing. If you're going to teach body parts, I think it would be easier to teach them all together, so that we have a good list of stuff to teach, rather than just the odd word or two. And then there was this one. I think this is a good example of what I'm talking about with the root word. So it's easy to teach wedding, but to say wed, we have to give them a sentence where the word wed comes in, and that's such an old, archaic type sentence, and it would be something that they would only use at an advanced level. So I really don't think it makes sense to teach them that. For them to use it, to show them where the word came from, yeah, but not to actually teach them so they can use it. But maybe that's not your plan anyway, I don't know. That's it. Thanks for doing this. Hope you don't mind me using Explain Everything. Just thought it would be the easiest way to explain stuff without actually speaking to you on the phone. And maybe give me a shout if you've got any more questions. All right, thanks again. Bye-bye.